On my first trip here, when I came to Siem Reap and then made a trip out to Angkor Wat, the connection came to me about Crossroads because of the ways into the temples and then all the different cultures. Well, I think the goal for this year's project is that we have a theme that World Wood Day was going to be about life. But life is very general. So one of the ideas was to bring in Crossroads. Collaboration. From my standpoint, I like things to stay pretty light. I like everybody to have a good time and engaged.
Gosh, a lot of people saying, I this, I think that, and it's not about what any one of us thinks anyway. It's about us as a group going forward, so it's what we should be doing, what can we do?
Michael and I had been conversing prior to the project, and I said, do you have anything in mind for a tagline to go with life? And his gut, he said, I've been thinking about Crossroads.
All these nations, all coming together to work in harmony and to promote this idea that we can actually, as a species, work together.
This is a group of 13 of us to a dozen of us, and so it's a lot of many voices. At the same time, if you do have a strong idea, it's really important to get the rest of the group to hear what you have to say and to not stay silent and listen at the same time. Open mind, open heart.
Everyone has a different skill set, and what they all have in common is a good eye for design. They understand form, line, balance, aesthetics, composition, and all of these things that make a piece dynamic and interesting.
Creo que expresar las opiniones de uno siempre es importante. En la etapa del diseño, sobre todo, no solo por mis opiniones, sino por las de los demás también. Y si alguien cree que lo que propongo se puede hacer mejor y no está bien y no va a ser provechoso para el proyecto.
I thought the dynamics were good. I mean, again, people were quite passionate about their ideas, and it was good, stimulating conversation. Here's the thing, is this group is really good at design. Sometimes this person has an idea and this person has an idea and they're opposite, but then they come together and there's a third idea.
When you put the opinion out, it already plays a role to push the future of the design, whatever we're talking about, the future of the conversation. So it contributes to whatever will emerge eventually.
I think that we had two very hard days at the beginning in the design room. And by the time the end of the day, we were able to clear out most of the 14, and we were down to 3, and then those 3 came together into 1. The other night, 3 master carvers of Cambodia come in and visit the group. They were very gentle, very respectful, and gave us their response to what they saw in our design. One of the masters said right off and stuff, lotus, you've got the shape of the lotus, and he took out a piece of paper and started to draw these lotus shapes, and everybody's like, wow. And then all of a sudden, they just breathed in this energy into the group, and the group just woke up again.
This year the team is smaller than usual. Everyone is coming with their own background and with their own knowledge, and each is contributing a little bit, and the result is the emergent designs, like not specific person doing one specific thing.
It's a great group of people, great designers, great makers, really good practical thinkers in the group. People find their natural place, so we had this construction team and a design team, and most problems get seen before they become an issue.
I mean, there's obviously, everybody has their strengths, so there's people who are, you know, they want to get to work. I think it's important to have that balance, because if you just have methodical, slow thinking people in the group, the project doesn't move quick enough. And then having the other people charging forward.
And those people are instrumental in what's happening now, because we need them in order to set the tone and get things moving. And I work alone a lot of the time, so this is quite a shock to suddenly be thrown in with a group of highly creative people.
Why don't we do this on the first one? Why don't we say we're going to put one screw in here and this one to pinch, and see how that works.
Yep.
So it's one screw hole.
And if we do the same at the end, we can put
small ones are inch and a half, I think.
What it is, it's a very strong, simple sculptural form. Sort of recognisable as a lotus flower opening or a temple or a combination of those things, you know.
This is heavy, tall, narrow panel structure. The biggest issue was that it went up, it stood up, it didn't fall down again. Hence, we have a combination of wood and metal.
The design's all important. Number one, it's very heavy, it's a very large piece, and it also needs to be moved. It needs to be dismantled and moved and reset up, and we have 7 days to get that structure sorted before it can go together. So that won't move. Everything else has been designed so it can twist and it can warp and everything, but that structure will go together and it won't collapse and hurt people, which is very important.
So there was a core group who were doing that assembly work. I think you find the furniture makers tend towards that, like myself. What happens is someone's up a ladder and they're doing the screwing and they need the drill, and someone's just handing it to them. There's that lovely way of talking where you have 3, 4, 5 people and we're not talking. We're just working, and this is it's almost like this beautiful machine, and it's in sync, and the handing and the thing, and that's when it's a really lovely, lovely experience.
We're going to recut this line because this looks funky, right? And if we leave that, it looks like a dimension of lumber. It's odd. It's just a funk, right? Does everybody see that void there and go, something's wrong with this? For me to identify what I've interjected personally doesn't matter. If we don't learn to interject and then compromise, this is not collaboration. So you see that one? The smallest one goes, it goes like there, 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 and then that one goes boom. And it's got a big void. So if we swap out this one and that one, which are comparable components, right? We can do that because they're the left or the right component of the wedge. Stepping back last night and looking at the object as a form and going, there's a spot that's hurting my face. What's wrong with this? And then talking about it, because more communication is better than less. If I just stood out there and went, there's something wrong, but I don't want to speak up, that hurts the project.
Another one
If we do not question
break that
what we see, we don't grow. Obviously that line's wrong, but, right? It's more like something like that, right? I can't see it. You guys need to tell me I can't see it.
Looks good, sir.
Yo soy parte del equipo de diseño que está armando la composición general del trabajo de los tallistas. Estos dibujos y estas tallas van a estar sobre los paneles de la estructura principal. Para la parte exterior de los paneles empezamos con diseños tradicionales. Después agarramos todos esos diseños, los cortamos y los empezamos a mezclar.
Basically, I work for the design. I apply some of the traditional elements, the local traditional elements, such as like the lotus petal and the national flower of Cambodia. So I create the first shape, and then other collaborators they add on my design. The wood we call koki. This one is quite soft. People always think that it needs to be a good wood, a nice wood, but as a carver, as an artist, any wood is okay. And like as a professional, you can transform from like simple piece to amazing piece. It doesn't matter. It depends on how you create it. It's like the most important is creative idea.
Everyone's been cutting, planing, assembling. Everyone seems to be, they'll see that someone needs help and they'll help them, or called in to help. I kind of was part of the construction team at the very beginning. That's kind of quite natural to me to be doing that. So I found it a challenge to be carving, helping the carvers at the end. It seemed like a lot of effort and sweating and water, and then you've only done a little tiny bit. So for me, that was quite a challenge, the carving part of it.
Everyone working, everyone give a good idea. This makes me find a new word. The symbol of the World Wood Day is also, I think, including about the friendship or the other country. It's not yet finished, but I have something to change a little, like we have someone to do texture or to move smooth. But it's normal for me, I don't mind, no problem, because we work together, it's collaborative.
如果不是跟他们合作的话，也不会这么起劲，干活也不会这么起劲，也没有这种什么一天到晚坐在那里干得这么认真。后来也感觉好像。 就每个人好像有什么第六感还是第什么，我也不知道怎么回事。像我跟那个非洲来的这个朋友，他也不懂英文，我也不懂，有时候指手画脚，有时候用笔在纸上画，有时候在木头上画，哪里行哪里不行，要怎么做？不同的语言也可以沟通的，用艺术来沟通。
Oui, c'est ma première fois que je participe au programme de collaboration de tous les domaines artistiques. D'une part, ça m'a donné une idée comment on peut travailler par équipe. Avant, c'était par exemple, je travaillais moi seul, moi, mais là, c'est le nous. C'est un esprit ressemblateur. Ça m'a vraiment donné l'idée que partant de zéro, avec une équipe, on peut réaliser quelque chose. Ça m'a permis, ça ne sera pas inoubliable. Parce qu'on a commencé d'un groupe, aboutissant de ce groupe, on a réussi quand même, avec l'union de toutes nos forces, que l'union fait la force. Donc on a réussi à faire quelque chose. Donc ça, c'est inoubliable. Les deux choses-là, ça va me marquer. La pièce aussi, elle va rester dans ma tête toute ma vie.
Yesterday I look around all the sculpture, all the designer, all the artists they working on the big garden. It make me like cry because I never seen like this.
Being here was a visual, oral, and full being experience because it's every sense is hit, and it also hit my heart. It's pretty amazing, and everybody's quite passionate about it, and the musicians, I'm so happy we were right next to them. I mean, just to even have a vision of this is really, really amazing because in the world today, how many people of so many cultures are able to get together like this about something they're passionate about? It's pretty awesome.
Your hands and your fingers, your toes, and the black bag. The experience of the team being together, the location we're in, our response to that is what should be inherent in the finished piece, and it represents this time, this experience, these people here. When these projects are at their best is it when everyone is bringing out the best in them and they get the idea that we're all in this together. It becomes a really lovely human experience at the core when it's operating in a pure collaborative sense.
The installation reflects a lot because what they are inspired by the temple. It's like that light bring through from them to our culture and then creating things.
Now, because they've been all cut up and then reassembled, you open this up and there was a clear story. When you looked at this panel, it was like, oh. And then you walked over here, it didn't say, oh, that came from here or here, but it had this cohesiveness. It had this thing that this kind of synergy, what would just pull this whole piece together and made it one.
The finished piece looks almost identical to what we first came up with. We managed to keep a unified theme and idea running right to completion, which is remarkable. I think it's a testament to what people can do together.
I've been overhearing people say, oh, it looks like a lotus flower, or it looks like the temple, and so those things have become obvious, which is great.
Please, walk around it, go into it, and I think that's what I love about this piece, that it's got an inside and an outside. Investigate it, experience it. Crossroads, coming in from different directions and meeting in the center, that's what that piece is about.